Hey, stop the car! Stop the car!
Two Atlanta police officers approach a vehicle with a suspected drunk driver behind the wheel in April 2019.
Get out of the car!
Tyler Griffin complies, steps out of the car, and then this happens.
You do not swipe my hands from me!
The fall breaks Griffin's left ankle. Officer Donald Vickers, a 15-year veteran on the force, tackles him. Griffin tries to stand up and walk, but can't.
Oh my God!
Officer Vickers then mocks Griffin, calling him a little girl.
Come on, man. You're such a little girl right now.
A few months later, Griffin told 11 Alive he thought Vickers' actions were unnecessary.
I've never been in any trouble with the police at all, so it's just one of those things where, why am I being attacked like this?
Here's how the tackle happened in slow motion.
They should have tried something before the tackle.
This is a deposition with former Atlanta Police Chief Erica Shields, conducted last year before she resigned from the city, but no longer leading the department. It's part of a pending federal lawsuit Griffin filed against the department, alleging Officer Vickers used excessive force.
Adam, I need you to get up there and clear 7. Oh my God!
I think it was unnecessary. I would not support Vickers' decision making.
Shields isn't the only one who thinks Officer Vickers used unnecessary force. This APD internal affairs investigator and this training instructor felt the same way.
Oh my God, it hurts so bad!
Based on what you saw, Mr. Fight, was the use of force justified in the video?
From what I saw, I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, I wouldn't have tackled somebody like that for a swiping of the hand.
In December 2019, the department's Office of Professional Standards cited Vickers for breaking multiple police policies, including cutting off his body camera and failing to provide medical attention. But for the unnecessary force claim, the city exonerated him. That means it believed Vickers' actions were justified.
It's a huge problem because clearly if OPS exonerated this, that's a much larger issue. I didn't realize that. I'm wondering why that file didn't make it to my office.
I'm surprised too.
Lee Reed is the executive director of Atlanta's Citizen Review Board, which investigates officer misconduct.
Here you go.
We asked him to review the body camera too. Based on what you saw, would you have exonerated that officer for use of force?
I don't think exoneration would have occurred.
Oh my God!
This isn't the first time someone has accused Vickers of violence on duty. A review investigation uncovered 3 other cases, including pointing an AR-15 rifle at 3 men in 2010 outside underground Atlanta while off duty.
The pointing of the rifle alone would have seemed to have risen to the level of a dismissal.
Shields said Vickers' cases illustrate the city's need to change the way it disciplines officers. She outlined this policy shift in December 2020 that has never been implemented.
You're going to have to prescribe that the deputy chief, the assistant chief, and the chief will all sign off on all use of force files. What we're seeing today is there's definitely some stopgaps where they just are not acceptable.
If the chief saw it as a big problem, yeah, it's a big problem.
Why are you crying like a girl right now, man? Stop!
Vickers remains on the force. He declined to be interviewed, but in a deposition denies ever using excessive force against anyone, including Griffin.
What are you doing? Wait a minute.
Once you swipe an officer's hands, you become a threat at that point, and I alleviated it.
Do you have any regrets about the way that you treated Mr. Griffin?
No, sir.
He has to be held accountable for what he did. And that to me is a problem.